That was Billy Idol. And I just want to thank Aaron for the 80s throwback this morning. We did hear also the Eye of the Tiger, which I said, fun fact, at that time, fun fact, no one cares to know. That was the first 45 I ever owned, was Eye of the Tiger. Now, if you don't know what a 45 is, you can text me later and I'll explain it. Guests will say, yep, you know it's me. Good morning. All right, everyone, we're going to have a great meeting. So who are my Billy Idol fans? I wasn't really a Billy Idol fan, but now when you hear the music, it's kind of fun, right? Okay, so we are going to have a great meeting. Thank you for being here this morning, KW Hudson Valley Upstate Group. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You had an amazing 2021, and we are into 2022 with ferocity that I love to see. So we're going to hear from a great speaker in just a few minutes. My friend Deborah Pearlman is here, and she and I have known each other for a long time, traveled in a lot of similar circles, and I'm excited to say that she's now part of the Keller Williams family. She's a MAPS coach, and I'm thrilled that she's going to be speaking to us in a couple of minutes. So we'll introduce her again at that time. But first, I want to thank our leadership team. So I know all of you appreciate everyone on staff and what they do to support you in your business, from the team leaders to the MCAs, agent services, Lori Burns, Erin Chambers, Eileen Angel, the productivity coaches. Let's give everyone a round of applause and thank them for what they do for you. I see. Yes. Awesome. All right. And now we're going to hear from another person who we appreciate great. Let's not forget our brokers. Oh my goodness. Let's give them a round of applause too, because they do their best to keep you where you need to be. So we appreciate our brokers too very much. And another person that we appreciate greatly is Kristen Pilati. Not only is she our corporate counsel, but she is heading up our title company, leading us with the title company, Assure Abstract. And she wanted to join us with a few updates and some information for all of you. So good morning, Kristen. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm good.
Great.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to hop on to remind everyone that our title company is up and running. We're fully operational. So if you can remind your clients, your preferred attorneys, your preferred mortgage brokers, that we do offer a title company. It allows you to be kept in the loop in the title process, which is really important. I know there are definitely things agents can help with in the title process, and it also helps you keep your clients up to date on where the file is and how close they are to close, because that is the most important part. And if there are any issues, we are more than happy to help you through them. But Stephen put in our website. We have an easy online ordering new order form on there to make it as easy as possible for your attorneys and mortgage brokers. If you have any more questions, I'm always available at kristen@assureabstract.com. And I wanted to see if we had any agents that have used the title company that would like to speak. I know we had a couple of deals go through so far and have closed some. So
yeah, is Margaret on the call? Margaret Boyle?
I don't see her now.
Okay. Who else has had an experience with the title company? Marcy, do you have something you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, our municipals we didn't get them back for a really long time, and Michael Siegel couldn't figure out why, so I just called the town and I got him within 30 minutes myself. So I don't know what happened with the deal that I'm currently involved with Keller Title. Don't know where the ball got dropped on that one.
Keller Title. Marcy, I can definitely have a conversation with you about that. I know with our municipal vendor, we have been updating it to get more local ones so we can get them quicker. But definitely I'll reach out to you after this meeting, because that's something, I mean, we are a new company, and we are trying to get better. So that's no excuses on our part, but definitely looking to improve that area.
Thanks for the feedback. And sometimes the municipals are a little out of our control too, but we'll see what
Right.
the story is with this one.
Mhm.
And just know too that, your feedback is really important, because we are a newer company and we want to work through any slowdowns in the process. But some things to keep in mind, Kristen, share with the agents, what makes this title company a little different than some of the other companies that they may have had experiences with?
Right. So we're working now to make sure that agents are kept in the loop. Over the last month, I've implemented a system to now get the agents included on the emails that are going out, which should be up and running this week. So it's just kind of giving a little bit more transparency. We're agent owned, so we're here to take your feedback and definitely work on helping to move these the files forward, and help everyone close the deal.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Kristen? All right. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for updating
Thank
us. We want to
you.
continue to see the title company grow. Again, this is a great opportunity for you to be partnered with Assure Abstract. And because it is something that we have launched, I can tell you that the value proposition is going to continue to grow. And I'm excited to see that we are up and running. So we'll have more updates for you as the company continues to flourish and develop. All right, so right now, before we go into Deborah, I just want to make sure everyone knows that tomorrow is an investor workshop being led by Jean Rivers. The MREI is the Millionaire Real Estate Investor Workshop. It is based on the book, of course, that Gary Keller wrote, MREI. And there's still plenty of time for you to register, right, Aaron? We sent out registration links repeatedly, so you should have it in your inbox. If you don't, reach out to someone on your leadership team.
I'm going to put it in the chat if I can find it quick.
Oh, perfect. Good. Oh, I just want to acknowledge, I see Allison has put something in the chat that she had a great experience with the title company, was kept in the loop, and that's awesome. And Allison, can you just come on and maybe elaborate a little bit about pre-title?
Yeah, so I couldn't get on before because the dogs were barking, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I was working with a seller who was concerned about possibly like a refinance that would have been left kind of out there, even though she had satisfied it. So I said, you know what, let me see if I can order pre-title, and we do that search, and Kristen did that. And that was like a courtesy for our seller to run that pre-title search. It ended up being clear and kind of gave them the peace of mind moving forward and being able to list the property. So that was a huge value added that I brought to not a buyer, but to a seller. And right now working with Kristen on another file that's just right now it's been seamless, and I've been kept in the loop on the whole thing. So very
Great.
happy with that.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. Anything else about title? Okay, good. All right, so now it is really my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker this morning. As I told you, her name is Deborah Pearlman. She has worked as a sales coach, as a business development coach for many, many years. And she is from the Hudson Valley originally, even though she just recently relocated with her husband to South Carolina, right? South Carolina. And she is, as I mentioned to you, now a part of our family. She is a MAPS coach, and we're excited to hear more about her and what she's doing in MAPS, which I believe is part of the new program, the newly defined program that is really being offered for MAPS, which is life coaching, right? And that's really what you've moved into these last few years, is really looking at behavioral coaching and life coaching, right, Deborah?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Perfect. So actually what they're calling it is that it was previously called transformational coaching,
Right.
and they've shifted it to performance coaching. And what it is it's very similar. There's just a slight nuance. So what it is we work with the whole person. So it's overcoming your self-limiting beliefs, working through blocks, helping you to think strategically outside the box, pushing you out of your comfort zone, even if it's just a little bit at a time, so that you achieve even greater results in your professional life.
Love it. Well, you know, you're speaking my language, so I am going to let you have the floor. Thank you for joining us today, and we're all excited. So listen, grab your paper and pen, take notes. Deborah, it's all you.
Good morning. I'm really excited to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. And some of you, I know, Kristen, you and I go back also. Allison Orlando, sorry. We go way back also. We know each other from the Hudson Valley. So the conversation today is really going to be around, okay, so the market's where it is. Inventory is not great. I'm getting outbid. Things are happening that are out of my control. And basically, as a human being, you have two choices. You can either stay stuck in what you've always been doing, or you can make a decision to try something a little different. And we're going to kind of go into that a little bit, and how your mindset is really going to have a huge impact on what your results are. So Erin, whenever you're ready with the presentation, that'd be great. I do not look like Billy Idol. I do remember dancing to that song when it first came out, though. It was a good song. I think you have to do slideshow.
Yeah,
Okay,
bear
it's
with me
close.
1 second. It's coming up
Yeah,
on my
no,
second
it's
screen.
fine.
I'm trying to figure out how to get it on the right screen. Hold on.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I don't know why it's showing up on my side screen, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it.
I think
On the right.
everybody can see it, though. Can everybody see it? Or is it just me that's seeing it?
We see it, Erin. You're good.
Yeah, and don't worry about it. Don't stress.
Okay,
It's fine the
thank
way
you.
it is. Just everybody promise not to read ahead and we'll be fine. All right. Not an issue. Okay. So there's a lot of cliches and there's a lot of sayings, and I love this one. And I know you guys have probably heard this somewhere in the past, but I wanted to bring this back up again. The only person that you should ever try to be better than, ever, is the person who you were yesterday. Be more positive, be happier, be more strategic, be thinking about what you're saying, how you're saying it, who you're talking to, what you're saying to them, and leave a legacy every day of who you are and who you are becoming. And in this business, who are you talking to? Who are your buyers? Who are your sellers? Who are the other agents on your team that maybe they just need a word of encouragement? Be a better person today. Don't leave negative balls behind you. Don't leave a trail of negativity. Leave a trail of positivity. And if there's nothing good to say, then don't say anything. If you can't think of anything, just don't say a word. Leave positivity behind you. Let people know that when they're with you, they're going to leave having spent that time with you feeling better about themselves, about their situation. That's the legacy that you want to leave every day. You have that opportunity. So what are you going to do today that's going to make your tomorrow better? And what are you going to do today that was even better than what you did yesterday? Okay, you can go to the next one. Okay, so we're going to spend a few minutes here. So a positive mindset. Now, some of you may have heard of this before. Some of you might think that this is a little woo-woo. This, from my experience, there comes a time when you have to stop and slow down, and you have to get off that hamster wheel, and you have to say to yourself, where am I? Where am I going? What are my goals? Where do I want to be tomorrow? Where do I want to be in 3 years? And are you being in a positive state of mind? So I'm just going to read this out loud. What does a positive mindset include? Positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. Having a positive mindset means making positive thinking a habit, continually searching for the silver lining and making the best out of any situation that you find yourself in. So it doesn't mean being unrealistic. It doesn't mean putting on your rose-colored glasses. It doesn't mean that you're not in touch with what's happening around you in reality. So you might think of cheerleaders or as the rah-rahs is a little bit too much for you. And some of you that's not comfortable, and that's fine. Instead, consider what it means to you between having a great day and having a not so great day. From the moment you wake up in the morning and you open up your eyes, are you grateful? Being grateful and in gratitude. And again, I don't know how many of you do gratitude journals. I don't know how many of you have heard this type of wording or phrasing before. And if I'm repeating myself to you, well, I apologize for that. However, in my heart, I can tell you that having gratitude is absolutely 100% the best way to start your day. It puts you in the right mindset. It makes you grateful for what you have. It makes you open to receiving more. And then when those little bumps during the day happen, because they just might, it helps you to set yourself up in a manner that it doesn't allow you to spiral downward. It keeps you in a positive mindset that you can continue moving forward in a way that is, when something happens, you have a choice. If you get a phone call from, let's say, a buyer, they're pulling out of a deal, whatever the situation is, and you hang up the phone, you have two choices. You can either be upset and say, oh my God, it's happening again to me. Or you can say, you know what? Okay, so how do I overcome this? What do I do now? How do I help this buyer? What's the next thing that I can offer them? Or how can I be strategic and think out of the box and be creative to create a whole different world now? So I'm gonna tell you a story, and it's very short. In the situation, I'm going to use myself as this, and I typically don't do this during coaching sessions, but I think that this is appropriate here, and I think it will give you some open clarity into why I feel the way I feel. When we moved down here, and you know what the market's like, and it's like that in New York, it's like that in South Carolina as well. We're in the Charleston area. We could not find a house fast enough. They were going like hotcakes. Everything that we put a bid on, whether it was a house, a townhouse, a condo, whatever it was, they were going for thousands of dollars over asking. It was mind blowing to us. And the numbers were crazy. We ended up buying a property that we probably paid 25% at least more than what the house was valued at about a year ago. And it's just the way the market is. So, and from the agent side, he was a new agent from this area. And we had a conversation, and I said to him, I won't tell you his name. Let's just use the word John, the name John, for lack of a better name. I said, John, I read an article, and I don't know how many of you know this, 66% of backup offers, 66% get converted. They turn into actual contractual or, deals. So I said to John, I said, why don't we make a backup offer? If the first offer goes through, now this is thinking out of the box, and this is me telling him, I want X amount of dollars over the deal, and let's put $1,000 towards closing costs for the sellers. Sure enough, we were very blessed. The timing was good. The first deal went through because of some inspection issues that they weren't willing to wait to have taken care of. And we got our home. I can tell you that we would not have gotten this townhome where we are if we hadn't done that. So look at your statistics, think out of the box, be creative, make counter offers, make backup offers, offer to put money towards the seller's closing costs, do things that are in a way of, and maybe it still might not work. However, at least you've done something out of the box. You've done something out of the norm. You've given yourself and your clients an opportunity that they might not have had otherwise. So, and it doesn't have to be that exact situation. I'm just using that because I want you guys to understand that the market is what the market is. You can't control it. That's totally out of our control. We can't control the inventory levels right now. There are some things actually you can do to be creative and out of the box, and your team leaders and your brokers, and those are things that in your PCs will work with you on, and your coaches should be able to work with you on. So if you stay mindful about being strategic and being positive and allowing a moment, and we call it in performance coaching world for MAPS coaching, we call it grounding and clearing. Allow yourself a breath. Just take a moment and allow some time to just think. And instead of
you shut my door here, honey?
Oh, somebody's got there. I'm not your honey, Michael. Is that Michelangelo?
I know you. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize.
That's okay. You can call me honey anytime. It's very sweet.
I actually was speaking to my daughter. I said, Victoria, honey, can you shut the door? I apologize.
It's okay. It's all right. So and the silver lining, again, it's not about being unrealistic. It's not about the rose-colored glasses. It's really important. There's a big difference. Yes, people are getting sick from whatever, COVID, the flu, whatever. So you can say, oh, poor me, poor them, and get into that negativity. Or you can say, oh, okay, so I tested positive for COVID. I thankfully have minor symptoms. And you know what? I'm still walking, talking, breathing, eating, sleeping. I can still function. I can still make phone calls. I can still make connections. I can still send emails. I can still do virtual connections. So whatever you find yourself in, whether it's affecting your business or your personal life, just maintain that positive attitude. It is so important because that will set you up for your tomorrows. So just think about this. The more you're able to accomplish today, the better off your tomorrows will be. So I always ask my clients, what can you do right now, this moment today, that will make your tomorrow better? What can you change? Who can you call? What email can you send? What appointment can you make? What can you do right now in this moment to give yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones a better tomorrow? And that's what you want to focus on, right? That's about staying positive. Okay, Aaron, can you switch to the next screen? If anybody has any questions, you can jump in like Michelangelo did, and you can call me honey too if you like. Okay. So for any of you who printed this out, take a big marker, and at the top where it says that big empty space, write 100%, 100 with a percent sign. And then what I recommend is that you print this out and hang it on your wall near your bathroom mirror, by your desk, and say it now. And I'm gonna say this: I am responsible for my positive thoughts. I am responsible for my positive reactions. I am responsible for my positive words. I am responsible for my positive actions. I am responsible for my positive results. I am 100% responsible for the results that I receive. I am 100% responsible, I need coffee, for the results that I'm experiencing today and the ones that I will experience going forward. It's not somebody else's fault. I'm not a victim. None of us are victims. I allow my clients approximately a 30-second pity party. And then after that, I tell them, okay, and what are you going to do about it? And what are you going to do next? And what happens now? And where are you going from here? And do you want this to be repeated tomorrow? Would you like to have something better tomorrow? And that's how we shift and move forward. Don't stay stuck. So for those of you who know who Deepak Chopra is, and if you don't, his last name is Chopra, Deepak, D-E-E-P-A-K, Deepak Chopra. He talks about going with the flow. And we've all heard that phrase, but I don't know if anybody really understands where it came from and what it actually means. It actually has a meaning to it. when Deepak speaks, he talks about you being the river. We all are. We're the river, and we're flowing. And there's when we're in the center of the river, and to our left is a bank, and to the right is a bank. And along the way, things happen. So sometimes we might stop on the left side, we might stop on the right side. We have a family, we have a celebration, something, whatever it is, a situation that happens, and that pulls us to either the left or to the right bank. Our purpose in this life and on this earth, if you believe this, is to continually go with the flow, not to get stuck on either side. Don't get stuck on the left bank. Don't get stuck on the right bank. It's okay to stop in for a couple minutes, spend a little time there, and then get back on the river and continue with the flow. And it's not that you're forgetting, and it's not that you're walking away from the situation. It's take what you can from it, learn from it if there's a lesson there, and then continue going. Don't get stuck. It's when we get stuck on the left or the right bank, that's when we get into situations that bring us either down, or they bring us, or they're sticky. And when we get stuck, we're not growing, we're not moving, we're not producing, we're not doing anything. Understand? I choose not to be stuck. I choose not to be on the hamster wheel. There is a way of going gracefully up an escalator. And I'm using visuals for those of you who are visual learners. Imagine the feeling of freedom. You're spinning, you're spinning and you're spinning and you're spinning. You're doing your calls, you're doing your appointments, you're doing whatever. And no matter what you're doing, your results are not changing. You're continually perpetuating the same results. And what I'm challenging you with is get off that hamster wheel. Become aware for a second, ground yourself and clear your mind and say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. It's not effective. It's not serving me. It's not serving my family. It's not serving my future. Let's get onto this escalator. The escalator moves up gracefully, slowly, with intention and focus. It knows exactly where it's going. It has a trajectory. And everything I do, whether I decide to walk up the steps a little bit or just stay where I am, but just very slowly make those changes and take those actions, I'm still going to get to where I want to get to. It doesn't matter the speed of it. It just matters that I continually do something to move myself, my business, my family, my financial situation forward every day. So again, I'm going to ask you, what are you doing today that will make for a better tomorrow? If there was one thing, one phone call, one email, one appointment, one thing that you could do right now when you're done with this seminar, what will it be? And write it down. And then do it. Take action. Take the action that will start to the domino effect. And I promise you, Jack Canfield talks about leaning in. Just lean into it a little bit. You don't have to do 100 things today. Do one or two. When I work with my clients, I usually deal them 5 cards. I say, here's 5 action item cards for the week. What are you going to do every day? What's 5 things that you can do every day to move yourself, your business, your family life, your relationships? What's 5 things you can do every day? And again, is it an email? Is it a phone call? Is it having a cup of coffee? Is it doing a virtual meeting? Is it networking? Is it marketing somehow differently? Think about that. All of this, the positive thoughts lead to positive reactions. Your positive reactions lead to your words. Your positive words will result in your positive actions, and your positive actions absolutely 100% will result in your positive results. I guarantee you. It starts in here. What are you telling yourself? What are you actually saying? What's coming out of your mouth? Because we're responsible for the words and what we put into the universe. Right? There's vibrations in what we say. For those of you who manifest, you know what I'm talking about. What we do, what we think, what we say, how we act, how we treat others, it all comes back to us the way that we put it out. usually tenfold if it's positive, right? So, any questions on this? Okay, Erin, next, hon. Thank you. Okay, so ERO. Here's a really great one. So also from, I did a lot of work with Jack Canfield, and you guys have heard this from other people as well. He talks about event plus, well, he does it ERO, event plus whatever your reaction or response is equals the outcome. Okay, so you have a choice here. You can't control the event. Remember I said we can't control the marketplace. We can't control what buyers do. We can't control what sellers do. We can't control really anything outside of our universe, our immediate universe, right? Sometimes we can't even control that, right? So it's going to happen, whatever it is. The event's taking place. So you have two choices. Are you going to react or are you going to respond? So when you react in this diagram, what it's saying is, are you going to react emotionally? Are you going to get angry? Are you going to get frustrated? Are you going to yell and scream and curse and kick your legs and stomp around and have a temper tantrum if it's not going right? I mean, and sometimes it's great and you can do jumping jacks and do, jump up and down because something wonderful has happened. If it's something that you're going to respond to, what they're saying here is take a breath. Don't allow it to trigger you. And if it does, notice that, be self-aware and realize what it's doing to you internally. Are you getting frustrated? Are you getting angry? Do you feel, again, stuck? There's 3 ways that we react to things. We can go into fight, flight, or freeze. If you're in fight mode, you're really going to feel angry. You're going to want to fight back and you're going to be angry at the event, which, by the way, again, we can't control, right? So you're angry and you're frustrated and you're going to take all that energy and all that frustration and it's not, first of all, it's not a healthy reaction for any of us physically. And the other thing is it's not productive. And it's not productive, especially if you stay in it for too long. So again, give yourself maybe a 30-second pity party if that's your reaction, if you typically go into fight mode. I allow you 30 seconds of anger, frustration, stomping up and down, and literally time it. And after 30 seconds, say, okay, now what am I going to do? What can I do to change this? What can I do to shift the results? I want a different outcome. And start to think what's called strategically. Be strategic and mindful about what you're going to do. And I'm going to go back to my example. I could have sat there, my husband and I would still be renting an apartment where we are, which was beautiful, by the way. However, if I had gotten upset and frustrated about the situation, and the events were totally out of our control, I would not have had the foresight and the mindfulness to say, well, what are people doing? And do the research. Oh, I can make a backup offer. And here's what we're going to do. And that's how I changed my outcome. I changed my response with a strategic, mindful, creative, out of the box way of thinking. I did some research because I didn't have the knowledge. I was willing to take the time and take a breath and allow myself that space to be a little bit creative. Some of us say we have the best ideas in the shower. You know why? Because we're not thinking about anything. We're giving ourselves a moment just to enjoy the water. That's why. We're allowing our mind to just relax. And that's typically when we get the best ideas. Some people get it while they're driving. If you're just driving and it's mindful, it's mindless driving because you're traveling the same route that you always do. So you're not really present 100%. Wherever you get your best ideas from, some people do like to do some kind of a yoga or meditation. That's beautiful. Do that. And even if it's just for 2 or 3 minutes a day, give yourself that moment. And when you have that opportunity, it's an opportunity. When you start to feel yourself get angry, that's your fight response. Be aware of it. And then shift your mindset. Give yourself your 30 seconds and then say, okay, now what? How am I going to change the outcome? If you go into flight mode, flight is when you want to just, you just want to run away. You don't want to deal with it. It's overwhelming. I'll just deal with this tomorrow. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with it. That's typically your flight mood. Okay. Be aware of what your responses are, whether you're a flight, a fight, what your mode is, or freeze. When you're in flight mode, the problem is that you become disconnected. You disconnect yourself as a way to protect yourself so you don't have to deal with what's actually occurring in front of you. That's not serving a purpose either. However, it's okay. We're all human beings. We have our ways of dealing with things and we get triggered, and these are our response modes, completely 100% normal, right? The idea is, again, 30-second pity party. Okay, I've been away. I don't want to deal with it. I'm giving myself 30 seconds. You have to come back and you have to say, what's the best way for me to handle this right now in this moment? What can I do to get myself out of this type of situation, not have that outcome, and possibly have a better outcome? And be strategic. And, there's nothing wrong with picking up the phone and calling somebody. Call up your broker, call up your team leaders. You have peers, call up each other and say, all right, I just had this phone call with somebody and I don't want to deal with it, but I know I have to, and I have no idea how to handle this. They're not, and they shouldn't give you answers. However, what they can do is they can give you some ideas of how to find the answers for yourself, where to look, where to research, find the data, get ideas, see what other people have done, and spend a few moments on yourself. And then congratulate yourselves because you've actually become aware of what triggers you. You're aware now of how you respond, right? What's natural for you. You gave yourself your 30-second pity party. Don't take more. And you've come back and you've thought strategically about how to overcome, how to move on, what to do differently, how to change the outcome, and congratulate yourself. It's a win. Anytime you do that, it's a win. Being self-aware is a win. That's a huge first step because a lot of us just aren't. We haven't taken the time. The third one is freeze. So some of us go into freeze mode. Freeze is, it's like you're physically stuck. You can almost feel a 10-pound weight on your shoulders and on each foot and on each arm. And you're walking around with 50 pounds of weight. And it's like, you don't know what to do. You can't see in front of you. You've got all these blocks around you, and that's all you can see. And forget about being strategic and forget about being mindful. You can't even see where you are. So stay in that, be aware, first of all, oh, so this is freeze mode. I'm in freeze. Allow a breath. Freeze is a little bit different. You have to allow a breath and you have to say, what can I do to shift myself out of freeze? I'm closing my eyes because I'm a visual thinker and teacher too. So I'm actually seeing this happening, right? What can I do right now to help release some of this pressure that I'm feeling? People that go into freeze mode, it's very challenging. It's more challenging than anger or flight because you really feel physically stuck. Are you moving me along, Miss Erin? So, yeah, sorry. All right. So anyway,
Yeah, sorry, Deborah, we only have a couple more minutes before we
okay. I'm
a
sorry.
few other announcements, but this is great stuff.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so some ideas of how to do some of these things. If you're saying, why me? Or you're saying to yourself, why didn't I do that? I should have done that. I can't do that. I'm not good enough. He's better than me. She's better than me. Any of the stuff in the red, be aware of that and really work mindfully on shifting what you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself, because you're literally beating yourself up, literally. And then move to, what am I grateful for now? What am I positive about right now? Also, what am I holding on to? What habits? What things am I doing? What things am I saying that aren't serving me? And then again, and I say this all the time, what is the one thing I can do today that will make my tomorrow better for me, my family, my team? Okay, I think there's one more slide. Last one. Henry Matisse. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. Choose what you see. Okay, I'm complete. Thank you.
Deborah, thank you so much. So if you all have any questions for Deborah, now is a good time, or if you want to put your ahas in the chat. I love being able to review and give you an opportunity to do the same, because your ahas are really your action steps. So Deborah, thanks again, and welcome to Keller Williams. We're so excited that you're a part of the family and you are a part of the MAPS team, and you're going to family reunion, right?
Yes, I will be there.
Yay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. And so we're actually going to take a few minutes. First, let's give her a round of applause again and express some gratitude to Deborah for sharing her wisdom with us this morning. And then Erin, if we could take a couple of minutes, we have a few announcements. Let's just check out some things about Family Reunion. It is launching next weekend, and many of you are going to be in Orlando. Some of us are going to be participating digitally. However you plan to experience Family Reunion, don't miss it. So this is the website that you want to bookmark and you want to check out. It's events.kw.com. And you'll see that there's tons of information here about Family Reunion. I believe you can still register for the digital experience. The agenda is here as well. There are still some things that they're filling in. And if you've never been to Family Reunion, you want to take advantage of as much as possible, including the exhibit hall, the breakouts. And Erin, I don't think the breakouts are listed quite yet, right?
The ones for days 2 and 3, I believe, are, but the first round is not. So if you look, there are some that are listed starting Sunday, but Saturdays for some reason, not yet.
Okay, so if you're going to Family Reunion, I want to see it in the chat. Put it in there. This is really a great way for you to get your schedule set, choose your breakouts ahead of time. If you are going to Orlando, I recommend getting to the breakouts as early as possible so you get a seat. And thinking about where you are in your business, but more importantly, where do you want to go so that you can choose the breakout sessions that are really relevant to you and your business. There's a quick video I want to show you about Family Reunion just to get you excited. We have that, Erin, on the homepage?
Is that where it is?
Yeah, on that site, yep. There it is. Well, we have no sound?
No sound?
No,
Hold one sec.
that's okay.
Just hold. Hold, please.
Please hold.
While you guys are doing that, can I just give everybody a couple of pro tips for the first timers out there for Family Reunion?
Yes, Eileen, that would be amazing.
Awesome. Number one, like Anna said, comfortable shoes. You think you look cute, by the end of the day, you're going to be limping, okay? Comfortable shoes. Second of all, bring a phone charger. There's no place to plug your phone in. You're going to be working, you're going to be calling, you're going to need your phone, and there's no place to plug it in. So bring a portable phone charger. Number three, usually we'll stop at like a CVS, get your own water, bring your own coffee. The lines are long in the conference center. So when you get there and think you're going to buy a coffee, you can, but you may miss half hour of the classes, and that's not what you want. And fourth, and most important to me, even though you think I'm going to Florida in February, it's going to be warm, bring layers. Every time we have Family Reunion, the weather, we always get record lows. And inside, it could be 95 degrees outside, and it's going to be like a meat locker inside. So bring layers where you could take the layers off.
Great tips. I love it. I would add to that tissues, hand sanitizer, snacks, a power bar, granola bar. You know, it's a long day, and sometimes the food can be expensive. The lines are long. It could be a great way to meet people, though. So yeah, just you know, those are some things that we can share with you because we've done this once or twice. So do we have the video, Erin, or no?
I'm ready now.
Okay, perfect. So here's what we want to make sure you're aware of too. If you're not going to Orlando, I believe every market center is hosting something in person. And I believe that either the team leaders or the ASCs are heading that up. Stephen Carlton, can you share what's going on in Hudson Valley United?
Yeah, sure. So on February 20th for Gary Keller's kind of state of the company, I'll be doing a breakfast here. So that'll probably run from like 9 to 11 a.m. So I would get here a little early if you can, just to make sure you can get a good seat. But we'll also have like bagels and eggs and stuff like that as well. So come by. I know it's early on a Sunday, but I'll be here. Maybe we'll have some mimosas and, you know, have some champagne as well. Okay.
Love that. Wonderful. Dan Schuckman, what are you guys doing in Hudson Valley down in Rockland County?
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I was just answering a couple of phone calls.
Oh, sorry. Is there something going on in your market center in person for family reunion?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a watch party for Gary Keller's speech. We're gonna get brunch provided for everyone, maybe some mimosas to keep everyone engaged, and I'll be here. So what's better than that? You get me and Gary Keller in one day.
Awesome. Dan and Gary together. I love it. And that's on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, good. And how about Haley? Is there something planned for Hudson Valley North?
We're going to be streaming Gary Keller's speech as well. We're actually going to do it we're planning on doing it on Thursday, the 24th. Also
Okay.
have a brunch in person here at the office.
Okay, so you're doing something after family reunion. Everyone who was there can also participate. I
Yep.
like that, and share maybe ahas and things. That's good. Awesome. Love that. And how about Kelly and Oneonta?
We are also going to be streaming Gary's speech. It'll be on the 22nd, and we're also going to have brunch as well.
Okay, same thing. I love it. So let's hear from our agent services coordinators. They're awesome, and they have some great stuff planned for you. The other thing before we all go on to our day, I just want to again make sure that you know that I'm hosting a book club, The Happiness Advantage. This is a great book. I read it several years ago. Actually, Jennifer Mallory introduced this book to me, and Sean Aker, the author, is the keynote speaker for Family Reunion. And the book is all about positive psychology, which is a lot of what Deborah was talking to you about today. And as a coach, this is really the modality I like to coach through is really the science of positive psychology. Now, here's the thing that I think is so profound about this book. It's going to turn your idea of happiness and success on its head, because a lot of us believe that we will be happier as we achieve success, whether it's in our career, in our relationships, in our whatever the pursuit is, right? Whatever the goal is. Well, we have it backwards, because honestly, it's about discovering how to find true happiness and fulfillment in your life. And that is what leads to success. Because when you come from that energy, you are going to be much more creative, much more productive, much more responsive. And that is really what opens you up to opportunity, and it changes the trajectory of your world. So the happy secret to greater success and fulfillment in work and life is going to be revealed in the pages of this book. As you can see, it's not a super big book. This is a great, easy read. And I am going to be facilitating this book club for you beginning March 8th through the 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And what we're going to do is break it down into 4 parts. So in the chat, I have the link for you to join the Facebook group. And I'm going to share information and resources in that group. And there is a link to register for the book club. I am going to host the book club on Zoom. You will need to register ahead of time so you have access for the book club each week. I am going to record it, and I am going to share it on the Facebook page. So if you missed something, you'll be able to watch the recording. I'm looking forward to really hearing from everyone who's read the book throughout those 4 weeks. And how we can apply the principles. There are 7 principles that we'll go through, and how we can apply them into our lives. And I'm very excited to lead you on this book club. So tell me if you plan to be a part of this. I want to see in the chat. Let me know. The other thing I just want to mention again, yay. The other thing I want to mention is that I am also leading a leadership Academy, which we had our first meeting last month. And if you would like to grow as a leader, if you would like to learn more about leadership, and if you would like to discover more about yourself and your strengths, then you want to be a part of this every month. And I'm going to be doing this throughout the year. That is a meeting that we have on Zoom. I believe there's a Facebook page for that too. And we'll be meeting on the second Monday of every month. And that's also at 1 p.m. Eastern. So there'll be information going out to you about it. And we're really excited. I'm going to have some guest speakers throughout the year. And it's going to be a great way for you to really, I think, raise your leadership lid, which again is going to help you to be successful in all areas of your life. So lots of good stuff coming up. Tomorrow's the investor workshop, and Rosemary also will have her wealth building mastermind this week, which will be on Thursday. Am I right, Erin?
Thursday at 1 p.m.
Thursday at 1 p.m. So I want to I think it's Haley that's putting out the email to you every morning. We're going to get some more information in that email so you always know about these special events. And also make sure that you have, the calendar, the education calendar synced to your calendar so you don't miss anything. So if there's any other announcements or any other shares right now from anyone here on the call?
Oh, I do.
Yes, Rita, tell us.
KWYP has their first event happening next week on the 15th. Yep, Stephen, do it again, Stephen. Make the axe throwing.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Not at each other, but at a bullseye. So it's open to anybody. Please register. There's a link in the OP updates page to the Eventbrite. It's going to be really fun. The cost is $40. It includes a $10 donation to Pets Alive, as well as your ticket to throw the axes. We also have a sponsor, Matt Laspada with Ulster Savings, who is one of our young professional vendor members that is paying for your first drink. So come, first drinks free, throw some axes, and get together for the first KWYP event of the year. I think it's going to be really fun.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Please do not try this in the Market Center, but I'm excited that you're going to have that event. That's great. All right. And if you would like more information about KWYP, you can talk to Rita or Christina Gibbs. Rita is the president, Christina is the vice president. I believe Dan Schuckman is.
Yep, director of finance, and then
Director
Kim
of
Lozano.
Finance.
Yep, and Kim Lozano is our director of operations.
Perfect. So that's your executive team for KWYP, Hudson Valley chapter. And Allison is asking, is that event for everyone or just under 40?
Anyone that has arms and can throw an axe.
Okay, awesome. We'll look forward to that. All right, everyone, have an awesome day. It was a great meeting. I look forward to seeing you all at something soon, and make sure that you take time to register for family reunion. Have a great day.
Thank you.